2019 Hyundai Nexo car review. Whether the Earth's glass of hydrocarbons is half full or half empty is debatable. However, the reality that classic fuels are a finite method to obtain fuel is just not lost on automakers. The good points of 2019 Hyundai Nexo: quiet operation, usable range. But the bad points of 2019 Hyundai Nexo: if you eliminate infrastructure issues from consideration for just a moment, when using the most abundant take into account the universe, hydrogen, for an energy source constitutes a lot of sense. Hydrogen being a vehicular fuel, based on Hyundai, can also be a question of when. Unlike energy storage devices including batteries or capacitors, once H2 is captured and pressurized, the losses are minimal. Storing 100 kWh within a battery for any year doesn't seem possible because the state of charge drops with time. Fuel cells do lose some efficiency in cold climates, yet not nearly as dramatically together we'll encounter with batteries. Yes, pressurized hydrogen is usually dangerous. However, there are many ways to store hydrogen for too long durations, and ammonia, for example, that involve less risk. Fuel range of motion. According to Hyundai's analysis, having a hydrogen fuel cell in the Tucson car like its Nexo actually starts to make financial sense when the target range surpasses 220 miles. As range gets longer, it will make more sense, because generating a fuel cell car go farther using one fill-up doesn't require adding heavy batteries at the diminishing comeback to efficiency. All you need to do is add another or possibly a larger H2 tank. This break-even point is inversely proportional to mass. An 11-ton fuel cell bus, such as the few prototypes Hyundai had going swimming at the Winter Olympics earlier this February, cost less than a battery bus for a target of 60 miles of range. The point is, all of the cost of a fuel cell influences stack. You add range with the help of fuel, you don't have to have a bigger stack, while going farther on power supply means a larger battery, with diminishing returns from adding mass. The 2019 Nexo will travel nearly 370 miles between refills of the three 10,000 pounds per square inch tanks that hold a complete of 6.3 kilograms of hydrogen. For reference, 1 kilogram of H2 has roughly exactly the same energy like a gallon of gasoline. That just barely knocks over 366-mile Honda Clarity since the fuel cell range king. A battery EV on this kind of range is normally just vaporware a megalomaniac touts in the sparsely attended press conference. And Hyundai is definitely selling its Nexo, not leasing it. All other Hyundai fuel cell cars before, for example the Tucson fuel cell, happened to be offered on limited-term leases. Hyundai has finally gotten the longevity of the fuel cell stack to a degree where it really is confident it will run with little problem for a decade. That stack, which Hyundai has reduced in space, mass it's into 196 pounds from 231 inside Tucson fuel cell, and value its content has only 56 grams of expensive platinum. The spot that the Tucsons needed 78, is where every one of the science happens. By combining hydrogen and oxygen captured on the ambient air, a fuel cell generates electricity and water. That electricity feeds a 161 horsepower electric motor in the hood and drives the Nexo's front wheels by way of a direct drive gearbox. Not that the vehicle is offered in lots of places. The place where a cold start is very important, but Hyundai also improved the fuel cell's cold weather performance, have real profit start in conditions as cold as -22 degrees Fahrenheit. It drives like a car. Exterior styling will probably be Hyundai using the corporate cascading grille and split headlights. The principal lights are within a separate aperture below LED daytime running lights. Automated flush door handles include a futuristic detail, while aero-focused 18 or 19-inch wheels and pillar roof buttresses improve ever-critical aerodynamic performance. Size-wise, they fit between the current Tucson along with the new Santa Fe, being longer and wider versus the former and riding over a longer wheelbase versus the latter. There is 30 cubic feet of cargo space behind the comfortable for adults second row, 1 cube less than inside Tucson. A touchspoke leader, a set of 12.3-inch displays, a push-button transmission, as well as a floating center stack combined with an interior that appears nothing like that relating to any other Hyundai, save exactly the typeface to the various controls. It's an airy cabin with full-width design elements to help that a sense of space. Quick, the Nexo is just not. Hyundai says it is going to hit 60 miles per hour in 9.5 seconds, and that we believe that. Our drive was on a moderate-speed freeway driving, the place that the instant torque in the motor provides enough thrust to acquire up to cruising speed prior to the end of your on-ramp. That looks like a low bar to achieve, and it truly is, but that shouldn't deter anyone considering an ultra-efficient car from such as the Nexo of their contemplations. All three in the Toyota Prius Primes we've tested took greater than 10 seconds to acquire to 60 miles per hour, and they also still drink gasoline. In our newest test of Toyota's fuel cell Mirai, it did the deed in 8.9 seconds. The hot rod on the hydrogen class will be the Honda, at 8.1 seconds to 60 miles per hour. The Nexo's electrically assisted steering is appropriately tuned, within the light side with no slop. A highway autonomy system much like Tesla's autopilot is standard, as are every one of the expected active safety features like blind spot monitoring and automated emergency braking. The mild autonomy, called Highway Driving Assist and Lane Following Assist by Hyundai, isn't quite as seamless since the competition's. There is some ping-ponging within a lane. It isn't the worst normally indicate, nonetheless it certainly isn't the top, either. H2, Brute? By 2019, Hyundai estimates California may have upward of 100 hydrogen refueling stations. This is why the company is only going to sell the Nexo there. At nearly $55,000 starting price, the Nexo isn't planning to change the marketplace. That may ought to wait until 2021, 12 months. Hyundai has promised level 4 autonomy inside the Nexo. But to the NAPT work mode to work, the cars must be within a connected city. Like hydrogen refueling stations, those are rare. For fuel cell cars to attain legitimate market penetration, the U.S. might need to invest billions from the infrastructure. Even if an innovative leap in propulsion technology replaces gasoline without much as adding a whiff of inconvenience to your consumer, devoid of to drive would be the one convenience the general public is begging of these days. We're ready to bet the hydrogen when? Is planning to trail the autonomous when? By the fair margin.